Hi everybody, all you're going to need with you today is your silk, and we're going to start the class by climbing into our silk, into our relaxation position. So start by opening up your silk, find your opening, going to gently slide in, lie yourself all the way back, stretch out so the whole body's in the silk. And just take a moment, take a few deep breaths, allowing the body to melt into the silk, giving yourself time to get in tune with your breath, putting thoughts of the day aside, and bringing your awareness internally to your body. And remind yourself, as always, to listen to your body today, not to do anything that doesn't feel right for you. So let's begin by gently bending from side to side. This is a wonderful way to open through the side of the body and just begin the class with our gentle spinal warm-ups. Let the silk hold you, let it support you. Match movement to breath. And then come back to center and roll yourself onto your side. Find your side lying position, arms extended, legs extended. From there, you're going to fold at the waist, bring the hands towards the toes, and then slowly extend all the way back, exploring a gentle back bend. So move in your own time from folding forwards to slowly folding back. And then take a moment to be still, let the knees bend. Just find your natural suspended fetal position. Enjoying that peace, that stillness. And take a deep breath in through the nose, out with a sigh. And then slowly begin to roll back onto your back. From there, start to take the legs out of the silk. Allow the legs to dangle free. And then gently pull yourself all the way up to sitting. From there, just reach up and slide yourself out of your silk. So you're going to step around to the back of your silk, holding the silk shoulder width, feet hip width. And then hinge at the waist. Arms reach forward, hips reach back. Finding that length all the way through the spine, opening through the shoulders, and lengthening through the back of the legs. Each time you exhale, find a little bit more space in the body. And then start to move the hips gently from side to side, mobilizing the lower back and sacral muscles. And looking for any movement that feels right for you. And then come back to center. From there, slide your right arm up the silk and just take a hold of your silk, allowing that right shoulder to get a little stretch. And then slide the right arm down, slide the left arm up, allowing that left shoulder to open, to release. And then slide both hands down, restack the spine, come all the way up. Give the shoulders a little roll back, and then step the feet as wide as you feel comfortable with. Hinge forward again, arms reaching forward, hips reaching back. And just take a moment to feel the inner thighs getting a little stretch. And then bend the right knee, stretch over to the right side, using the silk to hold and support you. And then come up and over to the left. Do one more each way, coming over to the right and over to the left. And then come back to center and slowly begin to restack the spine. Come all the way back up and just shuffle the feet until you can comfortably step them together. From there, you're going to step around to the front of your silk. Take a nice deep breath. Float the arms up and through the silk. From there, begin to step all the way back until you can spread the silk out around the upper back and shoulders. Take a little step forward, bring the hands to the head and neck. Breathe in to lift the spine tall, and as you breathe out, melt the shoulders back. Take some deep breaths. I'm going to turn around so you can see me. So this is a wonderful way to open the front of the chest and that upper back thoracic spine. Breathing in and out deeply. Each time you exhale, just melting a little further into the stretch. And then take a little step forward and begin to bend gently from side to side, opening through the side of the body, through the ribs, looking for any movement that feels right for you. And then come back to center. From there, start to step yourself all the way back up. Hi, Lily. Spread the silk out. Make it comfortable. We're getting ready to come into our rib hang. So remember, you want the silk spread evenly across the rib cage, nice and comfortably. And then begin to walk forwards until you're below the attachments. From there, take your arms to the silk, just cross them gently, and I'm going to turn to my side so you can see. So we want to go from holding our hips, which is very natural, to actually relaxing the hips completely. So as you can see, it looks like I'm sitting upright in a chair. So the more you allow the hips to be heavy, the more you allow the spine to begin to lengthen. So just take a few deep breaths. Let the hips be heavy. And hopefully you'll start to feel some wonderful releasing through your lower back, your sacral muscles. And so keep softening. Imagine the tailbone lengthening down towards the mat. And if at any point you feel that you're slipping and you're just uncomfortable, just come on up and have an adjust. So from here, we're going to add our little hip opener. So cross your right ankle over your left knee. Relax that hip. Just let the hip be nice and heavy. It's a great way to get a lovely hip opener. And then uncross your right leg and cross your left leg. Same thing, just relax the hips. Let them be heavy. Keeping the breath smooth and soft. And then uncross the left leg. From there, just slowly use the silk to stand all the way back up. Take a little step forward. We're going to go to our ragdoll. So let the silk gather around the shoulders. And just simply relax the head and neck. Feet flat on the mat, shoulders heavy, head heavy. Let the neck go. This is also a great detoxing pose. It flushes all the lymph nodes under the arms. And if you can, just close your eyes, rocking forward and back ever so gently. Each time you exhale, try to soften the shoulders a little bit more. And then slowly restack the spine. Come all the way back up. From there, we're going to position the silk back into a rib hang. So again, spreading the silk out, making it nice and comfortable. And then walk forwards till you're below the attachments. Arms up and crossed, hips nice and heavy. Gonna step your right leg all the way back. And then just simply press the hips from one side. Ride the silk and come over to the other. And this may be where you'll feel a hip flexor stretch, but we're all a little different, so we're all gonna feel it differently. What's important is you move in your own time and just explore your stretch. You can also just twist a little, look for whatever feels right for you. Keeping the breath smooth and fluid. And then come back to center. Bring the back leg forward and just switch to the other side. And same thing, just pressing from one side gently over to the other. Just finding your stretch. Taking your time. When you find a nice spot, just take a little extra breath there. And then come back to center. Bring the back foot forward. Just reach for yourself, pull yourself up just a little. Arms up, hands relaxed. Zigzag those feet nice and wide. Ready for a little playful whirlpool. So just leaning back into the silk, so the silk supports the weight of the body, allowing you to easily just circle the hips around. And then slow down and go back in the other direction. And slow down. From there, just gently step yourself all the way back to your feet. We're going to go for our shoulder stretches. So you're going to start to walk all the way forwards. Let the silk slip from the shoulders and catch in the elbows. And just gently lean into the silk. So it's up to you how much you lean into the silk. Should feel a nice opening through the front of the shoulders and the chest. Melt the shoulder blades together. Make sure the head and neck is released and relaxed. And just take some deep breaths. Giving the body a little bit of time to stretch and to release. And you can move a little, you can move the head and neck, whatever feels right for you. And then gently begin to step yourself all the way back. Reach up for your silk, take your silk nice and wide, and then begin to walk slowly forwards. The stretch can feel a little bit stronger in the shoulders, so make sure you listen to your body and stop when you need to. Work into the breath, using the breath to enhance the stretch, getting more of opening through the collarbones into the shoulder joint. And just breathing deeply, relaxing the head and neck. And then ever so slowly, just begin to step back until you can comfortably release your arms, give them a little shake. And then you're going to step around to the back of your silk. We're going to go to our standing warrior series. So from there, take your right leg up and over the silk. Make sure it's comfortable just behind the knee. Bring the hands to the hips. And just start with that gentle hip opener. And then come back to center, turn out the foot on the mat, take a breath, float the arms, soften the shoulders. So you want to flex your right foot and push down into the silk, using the silk to support you as you slowly find your way to your warrior one. Make sure that you turn out the back toes as much as you need to accommodate your knee and hip. Little bit of core engagement, both legs equally engaged. And then press into the silk to bring yourself all the way back up. And then nice and gently lunge. And again, come all the way up. And last time to gently lunge. Guide yourself back up. From there, you're going to take your right hand to the silk. So I'm going to turn to my side so you can see a little better. Ready for our warrior two. So pressing forwards, find your warrior two. Working the inner thighs, keeping the shoulders over the hips. Draw the silk towards you to come back up. And again, nice and gently lunge. Going as deep as you feel comfortable with. One more time, come all the way up. And last time to gently lunge. And then bring yourself back up. Turn back to the front. So one way we like to rest our standing leg is to reach up and just take a little playful swing. Bring the back foot all the way down. From there, you're going to take the sole of the foot to the silk. Straighten your front leg. Breathe in to lift the spine tall, and as you breathe out, just slowly press that right leg into the silk and hinge forward until you feel your hamstring stretch. So you should be feeling it all the way through the back of the leg. Just breathe in and out deeply, going to wherever you feel comfortable. Taking nice deep breaths. And then to change the dynamic of the stretch, slide your hands up a little higher, and you can simply press forward and go again to wherever you feel comfortable. Just listen to your body. And then guide yourself back up. From there, bend the knee, and you're just going to slowly rotate the leg behind you, taking a hold of the silk as you go. Reach up and just take a little hop forward till you're below your attachments. So from here, we're going to get a nice stretch in our quads. So how we do that is by simply pushing the knee down towards the floor, which engages your quad and will start to give you a nice stretch. So just hold there for a moment. And then from there, I'm going to turn to my side so you can see. You can slide the hands to the shoulders, elbows shoulder width, press the back leg up. Lifting the head, lifting the heart center, little variation of our dancer's pose. And then gently lower. You can also slide the hands up a little further and press back to get a little bit more stretch into that hip flexor area. You may be quite tight here, so take some deep breaths, smile. And then guide yourself up, slide the foot out of the silk any way that works for you. Give the legs a little shake out. And ready for the left side. So take that left leg up and over, spread the silk, make it comfortable, hands to the hips. And just start with that gentle hip opener. If you ever get wobbly, just grab a hold of the silk. Come back to center, take a breath, float the arms, soften the shoulders, turn out the foot on the mat, flex your left leg. Remember, you're pressing into the silk to control yourself into your warrior one. Going as deep as you feel comfortable, making any little adjustments that you feel you need to. And then push into the silk to come up. And again, nice and gently lunge. And one more time, come all the way up. And last time to lunge. And then bring yourself up. Take your left hand between the silks. Turn to your side, palms face down. Coming all the way forwards for your warrior two. Keep the shoulders over the hips. Gonna turn to my side so you can see me better. And again, nice and gently lunge. And come up. And last time, gently lunge. Just hold there for a moment. Strong and stable. And then bring yourself up, reach for your silk, and just pick up the standing leg. Take a nice little swing. Just because it's fun. Bring the back leg down, bring the sole of the foot to the silk. Straighten that front leg. Breathe in to lift the spine tall as you breathe out. Pull that left hip down and back as you hinge forward, finding your stretch. The hamstring stretch, or the back of the leg, is where you should feel it the most. Just take a few breaths. So the more you press that hip into or back and down, the more you'll feel your stretch. And you can reach a little higher, changing the dynamic of the stretch by pressing all the way forwards. And then bring yourself back up. From there, just bend your knee. Gently guide the leg all the way behind you. Reach for your silk and just hop forward gently. From here, we're going to work on that quad stretch again. So you're going to push your knee down towards the mat, and that should activate and give you a really nice quad stretch. Quad is one of the biggest muscles in the body, one that doesn't often get stretched enough. So just take a moment there. And I'm going to turn to my side for the next one. So you can slide the hands to the shoulders. Lift that back foot up, lift the head, lift the heart center. Little playful dancer's pose. Lower the leg down, slide the hands up, this time pushing back into the silk. Getting that extra stretch through this hip flexor here. Try to keep the breath smooth. And then come back up. So from here, you're going to leave your foot in the silk. Find your balance. Bring the hands down to the mat and lower the knee down. So we're going to do a little bit of strength work, but starting to begin with on our forearms and just pressing the back leg into the silk. So if I turn to my side, you can see it's another variation of a really great hip flexor stretch. And you can rest your head on your arms and just take a few breaths. So for our strength work, you have two choices. You can work from your hands or from your forearms. So your choice. You're going to take your hands or forearms to the mat and you're going to engage the back leg, lift the abdominals and see if you can float the hips up and then lower with control. Lift and lower. This is the first variation. So we're going to do 4 of these. One more. Lift and lower. Bring the knee down. Come to your elbows. Take a little rest, little stretch. Take a few breaths. I'm going to turn back to the front for this next one. So for the next set, if you want to be a little more playful, you can take the hands below the attachments, and as you press the hips up, you can extend the other leg all the way up. So really playing around with a little variation of an inversion, little handstand. So pressing up, getting the shoulders over the hips, or the hips over the shoulders. One last time. Great way to work on our strength, balance, and stability. Lower the knee back down, take a nice little rest. Take a few breaths. And then the fun part, switching legs. So I find it best to look, bring my other leg in. If you can hold a high plank for a moment, hold high plank. If you want a little bit of a challenge, sway the legs from the right to the left, working those obliques. And then bring your other leg all the way down. Press the hips back, make a cradle for your head. Take a few deep breaths. Slowing the heart rate down a little. This round gets my heart rate up. And then come to your hands or to your elbows. First set, so press the back leg into the sulk. Lift the hips and lower. Lift, lower. 2 more. Lift, lower. Last one. Lift and lower. From there, press back. Take that rest. So the more you press this back leg into the silk, the more you'll open up that hip flexor. And then last set, and again, you have a choice to do any variation that you like. Another option is to work on a headstand, interlacing the fingers, elbows shoulder width, tucking the head all the way in, and just simply finding your balance. You can stay there, or you can just play with lifting and lowering. Your choice. And then finally, slide the back foot out and take a little child's pose. Rest the forehead down to the mat. Take a few deep breaths. And then reach the arms all the way out. Come up to your hands and knees, tuck the toes, press up and back to your downward dog. And just press one heel at a time into the mat. Stretch into the backs of the legs. And then begin to raise your right leg. Open that right hip all the way up. And we're going to come to a gentle pigeon pose. Bring the right knee forward, resting it down behind the right hand. Slide the back leg away and melt all the way down. So the idea is to try to get the hips as level as you can. Make sure that your knee is happy. One way to accommodate is to lift the foot up a little if your knee's not happy. Otherwise, just give your body time to release and to relax. Softening, quietening the breath. Feeling grounded. Wiggling a little bit deeper if you can. Last couple of breaths. And then walk the hands back towards the body. Step back to your downward dog. This time, let's raise our left leg high. And then gently guide the left knee to your pigeon on the left side. Slide the back leg away, melt all the way down. And release. Making a cradle for your head just helps the body relax. Make sure your knee is happy as always. Allow the body to feel heavy. Wiggle yourself a little deeper for those last couple of breaths. And then slowly walk the hands back towards the body. Step back to your downward facing dog. And then walk the feet towards the hands. Bring the feet to hip width. Just find your easy forward bend, upper body heavy, knees soft. Let the head go, let the shoulders go. And then slowly restack the spine. Come all the way back up. Give the shoulders a nice little roll back. So from here, I always like to offer an inversion in my class. There are a couple of options. The first one is nice and simple for our back straddle. You're going to take the silk and you're going to put it across your sacrum, your tailbone. So from there, going to hook your thumbs, going to start to lean back. So make sure you watch me as a reminder to be safe coming in and out. So as I go back, the most important thing is that I take my legs wide. I have to take my legs wide. Then I can bring the soles of the feet together and just relax in my nice lengthening inversion. So if you're in it from this position, stay there. If you want a reminder of another variation, which some people find a little more comfortable, I'm going to show you how to do it. So you're going to open up your silk and find both ends, one in each hand. You're going to take the back side of the silk through the middle to the front. So you've just really folded your silk in half. So now I'm going to take a hold of my silk, bunch up a little in my hands, and I'm going to come to a seated position. From here, the principle is exactly the same. I'm now taking my thumbs and I'm just hooking the silk and positioning it on my sacrum, my tailbone. From there, I'm going to go back, take my legs wide, wrap around the silk, and relax. So some people find this more comfortable. Let the arms go, let the head go, and just take a few deep breaths. So whichever variation you have chosen, make sure you feel completely comfortable. I'm going to adjust my position. If you happen to be watching me, then you can see the last stretches I'll offer in our back straddle. So you should be enjoying some nice spine lengthening. You also get all the wonderful internal benefits of being inverted, the lymphatic drainage, circulation. So a couple of extra options we have in this position, if you're comfortable, is to interlace the hands around the back and just roll the shoulders back. Softening the head and neck, getting a nice shoulder opener. Taking some deep breaths. Just simply release the arms when you're comfortable. Another variation is taking the hands to the mat, the palms down, and just walk your hands away from you, behind your head. Straighten the arms and let the chest come forward and relax. So this will help to stretch out the front of the body, the arms, wherever you feel tight. So last few breaths here. Breathing in and out deeply. And then just simply release the pressure on the hands to slide all the way back. So from there, you're going to reach up for your silk. Gently come all the way back up. So try to come up slowly. Be mindful that you may feel a little lightheaded. And then just simply come into your ragdoll or anything that feels right. Just giving the blood a chance to rush back to all the places it should. And then when you feel comfortable, come all the way back up. So our last stretch sequence we're going to go into is our wonderful straddle series. So what you're going to do for that is you're going to start by straddling your silk. Then what we want to do, and I'm going to turn around so you can see this part is quite important. You want to try to open up your silk and get even bunches in your hands. Slide yourself in one leg at a time, bringing the silk to your knees. This way, I'm now sitting right in the middle of the silk. From there, I'm going to take one hand and I'm just going to push the silk away and bring one foot at a time into the middle tight part of the silk, into a variation of Baddha Konasana. So a really nice inner thigh stretch. And what's beautiful is you can see the lovely support I have for my spine. And I can just simply sit here and relax. All I have to do is just allow my body to melt into the silk, letting the silk hold and support me and letting gravity do all the work. So soften the breath. If it feels a little too much, you can always slide your feet up. So just always allow yourself to modify and adjust to suit your body. The next variation we can do is our forward bend variation. So you simply slide the legs straight up the silk, feet parallel, and again, relax. Let the arms go wherever is comfortable for them to go. You again have this beautiful support all the way through the spine. It's a wonderful hamstring stretch. You may also feel a little lower back, upper back stretch. So just take a few breaths. Breathing deep enough that each time you exhale, you feel a little more release in the body. For the last few breaths, you can always reach for the toes, working yourself a little bit deeper into your stretch. And then from there, we're going to change our position. So you're going to take one leg out wide in the silk, the other leg wide in the silk. So the whole body's in the silk, and just open and close the legs a couple of times in a little straddle stretch. And then from there, we're going to take a nice lower back stretch. So just simply bend your right heel in towards you, and you're going to reach up and over towards the left toes. So I'm holding on to my left toes with my left fingers, and now I'm rotating my right shoulder up. So even though we're leaning over to the left, we're actually stretching through the right side of our body. I know it's a little hard to see me in the silk, but hopefully you're following my instructions. You can keep the right arm raised, you could keep it up over your head, or you could even push your right palm into your right thigh. Use the silk to support you as you explore your side stretch. And then nice and gently come all the way back up. Extend the right leg out, bring the left heel in. So now you're reaching over to the right side, reaching for the right toes. And begin to rotate your left shoulder up. So now we're finding that stretch through the left side of our body. You can have that left arm raised. Some people hold the silk. Or you can take your left palm and press it against your left thigh. Just look for whatever variation feels best for you. Take some nice deep breaths, softening into your stretch. And then gently come back to center. Now bring the right heel in so the soles of the feet touch, just simply by bending the knees. Rest the hands onto the ankles, and now we're in our wonderful little seated Baddha Konasana cocoon. And just take a few breaths, letting the whole body relax into the silk. Breathing in and out deeply as we get ready to prepare for our relaxation. So to come into our Shavasana, all you have to do is simply pick one leg and take it up and over to join the other leg. And then just simply lie yourself all the way back in the silk. Stretch yourself completely out. Get nice and comfortable. Lengthen from the fingers to the toes. Just enjoying your stretch. And lastly, before we go into our full relaxation, just raise your right leg up high. You can take a hold of that right toes, right foot, right ankle, and just give that right hamstring a stretch. The rest of the body can completely relax. Just working on your hamstring. And then lower the right leg down and raise your left leg up. Same thing. Find that stretch on your left side. Holding the toe, the ankle, whatever feels right for you. Trying to let that left thigh sink down into the hip as you draw the foot up towards your head. And then lower that left leg all the way down. Find your most comfortable position for your Shavasana. You can have the arms up overhead, or you could have them across your chest. Press your shoulders down a little, create a little more space. Make any little adjustments you need to. And begin to slow the breath down, allowing the whole body to melt into the silk. Letting your eyes soften, letting your jaw soften, and enjoying a Shavasana for as long as it feels right for you. Take your time and enjoy it. Namaste, and thank you, everybody.